Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video we are going over my wish list for polish pickup for October 2023, the theme of which is 90s grunge. Now this was a month that was really interesting to see come up. I've been living in the Pacific Northwest, which I only learned after moving here is basically the hub of grunge. So this was a very interesting theme to see come up. I was excited to see what the makers would do with it. And of course, we did get a lot of really interesting inspirations from the grunge music, but we also seemed to get a lot of makers sort of thinking outside the box, if you will, of other 90s bands, movies, etc. So for October, polish pickup will open Friday, October 6th, and stay open through October 9th, which is the Monday. And if you are new to polish pickup, they open the first full weekend, which includes the Friday of each month. So if the Friday were to fall, say, on the 1st, it would have fallen earlier in the month. So just something to keep in mind if you're wondering about the timeframes of polish pickup. But let's go ahead and get into my wish list. So for this month, like I said, I was very interested in this subject. I lived through the entirety of the 90s. I was born in the 80s. And so yeah, 90s has a special place in my memories, in my childhood and all that. So yeah, this was a fun theme to see come up. Very interesting that it was very specific to the grunge era as well. But I managed to maintain my wish list still pretty decently. I only kept 4 on my wish list, even though a lot of other polishes are gorgeous. We'll go over a few of those here soon, but let's go ahead and see the 4 that did make it to my official wish list. The first one is from Monarch Lacquer. This one is called Slacker Chic. This one will sell for $13. It will come in a 15 ml bottle and it is capped at 400, so this does have the potential to sell out. It was inspired by the movie Reality Bites, at least that's what I think. It does say Reality Bites, but not specifically the movie, and I don't actually recall seeing the inspiration picture for this one. But this one is described as a muted blurple with strong red-orange flame doused with an extra glitz of red hollow glitter flake. Both shifty and sparkly, this beauty does not disappoint. So this is one of those color combinations that really catches my eye, and I want to say the last time I went to find something like this in my collection, I was shocked to find that I didn't have something like it. Similar maybe, but more blue usually, and if it was more purple, the shift wasn't quite so red. So that is why this one is on my wish list. It's sort of been in the back of my mind probably for a couple of years now with this type of a combination. So I was happy to see that Monarch had made something very close to what I had been looking for. So this is definitely one that I'm excited to see in person. This one, like I said, it's really beautiful. I love this sort of a combination when you have a contrasting shimmer. And like I said, sort of odd that I don't already have something like this in my collection. So excited to see this one in person. So that one is Monarch Lacquer's Slacker Chic. The next one, I will fully admit, is basically in my wish list, mainly first and foremost because of the name. This is KB Shimmers Come As You Are, and it will sell for $12. It is inspired by the, if I'm remembering correctly, the unplugged version of Come As You Are by Nirvana on MTV, and it will come in a 15 ml bottle. There is no cap listed, so I think this one might be uncapped, which means that there is no limit to how many bottles the maker can make. This one is described as a muted olive green base that mimics the famous knitted item, which I believe is Cobain's sweater, while a bold blue shimmer pops like the stage lighting. So silver reflective pigment adds a dash of sparkle for a unique shade perfect in 2 coats. So this one is a very interesting color, very unique. I thought it would be a nice one for fall in sort of this muted olive. And the contrast, again, well, in this case, it's not quite a contrast, but it is a pop of color off of the green. You have this very beautiful blue shift that pops off of this, plus you've got the reflective glitter. So again, such an interesting combination. I again do not have anything like this in my collection. Now this shade of green that you can see here along the edge of the bottle might in some lighting fall a little bit more slightly towards the grassy green, but it is going to be in that olive family, and I love olives. And like I said, I don't have anything quite like this with that blue shimmer, and I do like reflective glitters as well. I think they twinkle beautifully. They add a nice sparkle, and here it is showing a bit more of that deeper tone that shift of that blue can go to, which again is a very beautiful combination. I do have a Zoya polish that is a green with a blue, but it's a mainstream, and they simply don't pack it in like they do with the indies. So I'm very curious to see this one. Like I said, this is mainly won it to my wish list because of the name though. But yeah, it is a beautiful polish, which is why I did end up okaying myself to add it to my wish list because it is very beautiful. So that one is KB Shimmers Come As You Are. The next polish is a red. You guys, I have another red on my wish list. How did that happen? This one is Coloristic Red Hot Flannel. It will sell for $13.50, come in a 15 ml bottle, and this is another one that does not list a cap, so chances are everybody can get a bottle if they'd like one. This one is inspired by a red flannel and is described as a deep ox blood with green, gold, copper, purple shift, fairy flakes that are purple to green, and multi-dimensional magnetic effect. So again, with the unique polishes, I have been trying very hard to keep myself very strict in the polishes that I am getting, and this one just is beautiful and unique. It is a red, like I said. If you are new to my channel, reds have been one of those color families that I have been dipping my toe into a bit more and more over time. I still am I don't know, I have a mental block towards flat out reds, like this brighter tone of red, that pop. It strikes me as very like va 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 voom, and I am not. So I kind of feel this like counter draw to it. At the same time, I have recently worn a few reds and actually very much enjoyed them. So this one did catch my attention. I also really like the fact that it is darker. Here you can see it's almost got this blackened base once you've magnetized the red up into the magnetic line, and it does have those flakies that the maker mentioned, and that red that is pulled up into the magnetic line has this beautiful glow about it. Just a very beautiful combination. Here you can see some of that gold sort of pop up. You've got that green. So this is, like I said, another very unusual red. I think this should still stand out pretty well along with the other reds that I do already have in my collection. And this is another one perfect for fall. I also think it would be very beautiful with a matte top coat. So that one is Coloristic Red Hot Flannel. And then the last polish on my wish list is by Vanessa Molina. This is Fishnet Stockings. It will sell for $13, come in an 11 ml bottle, and this one does have a cap, 700, so it's a pretty good cap, but it still could potentially sell out because this one is a beautiful polish. This one is inspired by the fashion that marked many grunge fans. Fishnet Stockings is more than necessary to complete your grunge look. The polish is described as a chameleon multichrome base with iridescent flakes and blue galaxy glitter. So this one has all the contrast. I mean, wow. So you have this multi-chromatic base that the listing doesn't really describe the colors in, but as you can see in the bottle shot here, you have oranges, reds, golds, greens, bronze. Then you have these flakies that are in the cooler tones of greens and blues, and you have the glitter, which is that darker blue speckle that you're seeing. So another very beautiful combination. I love the fact that it's in this darker multichromatic base for that contrast. Here you can see some purple flashing up at certain angles, maybe even from those flakies. Yeah, the pictures of this just blew my mind. I absolutely love how many colors you're seeing. The flakies look amazing. The multichromatic base looks amazing. Now, I will say a lot of the polishes that I do get from this brand do tend to be more sheer in my experience, but for me, what I would probably end up doing with this is putting it over a darker color anyways to make sure that that base really pops, and I cannot wait to see this one in person either. I think those flakies and that base combination, I mean, can I say it again? It is such a unique combination. So that one is by Vanessa Molina's Fishnet Stockings, the last one on my official wish list. So as I said, Polish Pickup did have a lot more items. If we go to the main page, they have 6 pages worth of items. If you hit shop all, they have acetone antidotes, which I often get, but I still have plenty left. They have a number of other beautiful polishes. They have stamping polishes, base coats, top coats. They have a few more magnetic polishes as well. Actually, this BCB lacquer was on my radar, but I did end up cutting that one. It is called One Thing That Got Me Started on It was the jean jacket. It will sell for $13.50. Inspired by Drew Barrymore, it is going to come in a 15 ml bottle. It does have a 400 bottle cap, so it does have the potential to sell out. This one is described as a deepened purple with red, orange, gold flakies, purple metallic flakes, and a red-orange magnetic pull. So this one is really beautiful. The reason I didn't keep it on my wish list is I do feel like I have something at least kind of close. I can't think of the brand that I would have had it from, but maybe one of my Kathleen & Co's. I don't know. It's reminding me of something. And it is beautiful, but like I said, that's why I did end up cutting it, but just thought I would minutely showcase that there for you guys if you were interested. But yeah, lots of other really beautiful polishes. This one actually by Cleona Cosmetics had also somewhat caught my eye. The reason that one didn't make it to my wish list ultimately is it is predominantly got this gold that leans to olive, or an olive that leans to gold. And while I love the olive, I'm not that big of a fan of the gold with it. So that's why that one didn't make it to my official wish list. And I don't really have anything else to compare or contrast really. Oh, this one also was on my wish list. I did make myself cut it though, because this is another one that was basically on my wish list only because of the name. Not only because of the name, but mainly because of the name. And I did go ahead and make myself cut it. This one is Ethereal's It Can't Rain All the Time. It will sell for $13. It was inspired by The Crow. That's where that line comes from. So yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful polish. What struck me very interestingly when I saw the swatch pictures is it's kind of hard to see in some of these photos, but you see that berry shade that's popping up? That's the base. It is actually a very dark, almost black red base with a blue to violet shimmer. That's what really caught my attention. So the blue is gorgeous, but I loved the fact that it was in this berry red base, this very dark berry base. Here you can see it a little bit better there around the edges, that red tone. I thought that was absolutely gorgeous, but I did realize after I added it to my wish list that the main reason I added it was because of the name. And if that was the only reason, I didn't need to spend $13. So I did cut that one. In any case, I think that's where we're going to cut it down to just 4 items on my wish list, which I hope to maintain next month as well. If this is a month that you really enjoyed, let me know which ones you have on your wish list down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.